We'll have a look at the NHS in crisis now, Chris. There's been lots of talk about the NHS over the course of the weekend, but this is all down to bureaucracy.
Yeah, so the fear in the newspaper is that more money is going to be spent on senior managers and not enough on frontline staff. And they're talking about NHS waiting lists, A&E trolley waiting, and what they labelled waste and wokery. So I think they're talking about sort of the training in diversity and inclusion and all the other different training examples. Look, I don't know I don't want to keep on hammering some of our great institutions. We've got the NHS being hammered here, we've got the police being hammered here, and in the end, you know, you do need to have managers. And you do need to pay them appropriately. I'm not saying at the cost at frontline. You know, we do need to invest in our NHS. My fear is that we keep on hammering the morale of the people that have been working there. 2 years ago, we were waving the flag, and now we seem to be just carping all the time. So I've had a great experience over the last year with the NHS. They've been very good to me when I needed them. Ask the public.
Well, anecdotally, I'm hearing horror stories. A friend of mine's father is dying at the moment, and the nurses on the ward too busy to spend the time to feed him because it was a long, slow process for him to be fed. And because family weren't there all the time, effectively, he was being starved at the end of his life.
Not
and
uncommon.
They said, just let us... And just so sad, difficult for the nurses, because obviously no nurse or doctor wants to see their patients in that situation, but they haven't got any...
enough nurses.
There's
there haven't
no
been for
resources,
a long time.
and I'm just hearing more and more of these sorts of horror stories.
So what is the...
Well, we
solution?
need to recruit more.
Right.
Desperately.
That's what that's what the Royal College
retain and recruit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, you don't need a qualified nurse at degree level to feed. I mean, I sat with my dad when he was dying for hours on end for weeks, and I ended up feeding people because I sat there and watched them plonk the food in front of old guys and just leave it. And tragic seeing like a 80-odd-year-old, 90-odd-year-old trying to eat his food. Nobody had taken the cling film off it. Got his arm in, trying to cut a jacket potato with one hand. I couldn't watch it. Yeah. But you don't need medical training to do it. You need ward. My auntie used to be like a ward orderly or something, and that was her job. Clean, washing people, feeding them. Yeah. We need more.
Well, we had
of that.
so many volunteers, didn't we? The Jabs Army during the COVID crisis, and I know a lot of people, well-meaning, good-intentioned people with time, who would probably step up if we asked them. Is there a call to be made, or does this need to be proper paid jobs? I mean, there's a...
I think it needs to be proper paid jobs. I think we've got to really think about our police service. We've got to think about our NHS. We've got to invest in them properly. We talk about cost of living crisis. People are wanting work. Well, let's make it attractive for them to go to work. We found money for people. People staying at home. I forgot the term we used.
Furlough.
We've found money for furlough. We're finding money for Ukraine. We're finding money for certain.
Yeah, we're pretty.
So let's find money. Yeah, let's find money for NHS and for the police force.